So girls, today I will start with the life cycle of Oedogonium. Okay, but before that, I hope you all know what are algae. Now, algae, they are the photosynthetic organisms. Okay, that because they possess photosynthetic pigments in their body, such as chlorophyll, so they can carry out photosynthesis. But however, these algae, they lack true roots, stems and leaves. Okay, they lack these true root, stems and leaf as compared to the plants. They don't have any true roots or stems or leaves like plants, but they can carry out photosynthesis. And also they some of these algae, they when we study about algae, different types of algae, you will see that some of them, they are unicellular, while some others, they are multicellular. And also the scientific study of algae is referred to as phycology. Okay, so algae, they are diverse groups of aquatic organisms which lack true roots, stems and leaves, and also vascular systems to circulate water and nutrients throughout their bodies, but they contain uh, photosynthetic pigments and they can carry out photosynthesis. So today we will study about uh, one of these organisms known as Oedogonium. Okay, so Oedogonium, it is an algae. So let us start with this Oedogonium. Now, coming to the systematic position of Oedogonium. So if you take a look at the systematic position according to Fridge in the year 1945, this Oedogonium, it belongs to the class Chlorophyceae, order Oedogoniales, family Oedogonaceae, and genus Oedogonium. But according to Lee, the much later classification in the year 1999, it belongs to the phylum Chlorophyta, class Chlorophyceae, order Volvoceales, family Oedogonaceae, and genus Oedogonium. So you have to remember this systematic position. Now, this Oedogonium, okay, first we will talk about its occurrence. Okay, now Oedogonium is an exclusively freshwater alga. Okay, so it is an alga which you can find in fresh water systems, and about 400 species. Okay, 400 species of these Oedogonium are present, and more than 200 species, they have been reported only from India. Okay, so more than 200 species of Oedogonium are reported from India, and these Oedogonium species, they are very common. You can find them in pools, ponds, lakes, all freshwater systems. Okay, so the plant body of this Oedogonium, okay, it has a filamentous plant body. Let me show you in this diagram. You can see in figure a single filament. It has a filamentous plant body. Why filamentous? Because if you take a look at the cells, they continue to elongate, but they do not divide. They have a filamentous body. And this filamentous body, if you see at the bottom here, it it may get attached to the stone, the wood, the aquatic plants, the leaves, anything which are there in the water system, okay, below the water system, or anything, or even the small branches or that plant remains in the water. These Oedogonium, they will attach to those they will get attached with these uh, plant remains, or the wood, the leaves, the stones, anything which is there in water. They will attach their body through this hole fast, you can see here. hold fast, it looks like a stalk. It is a stalk by which the alga is attached to the substrate. Okay, to the substrate. And a substrate, like I said, it can be anything, a stone, a wood, a leaves, or anything. So they will get attached to the substrate through this hold fast. Okay, and but some species of Oedogonium, they are also terrestrial. Now, if we talk about the plant body, okay, the thalloid plant body. Thalloid meaning because it is a vegetative body of the alga. Here, the thalloid plant body is green and it is also multicellular. As you can see here, many cells and also filamentous. So remember that the plant body is green, multicellular and filamentous. And also if you see in figure A that the filaments, they are unbranched. Okay, they are not branched. So they are arranged in a single row, uniseriate row, meaning they are arranged in a single row and they are unbranched. And the cells, if you see here in figure A, also these cells, they are attached end to end. Okay, they are attached end to end and they form a uniseriate row. That means they are aligned in a single row. And also the filaments, they are differentiated into three types of cells. Okay, in figure A, if you see, they are differentiated into three types of cells. The basal cell here, the holdfast, we will talk about it later. The apical cell, that is the topmost cell, and also the middle cells. Many middle cells we can see here. So we will talk about these cells. These are three different parts of Oedogonium, of the plant body, sorry, of the thalloid plant body of algae. We will talk about it one by one. We will discuss. Okay. So here, as we can see that the filament is differentiated into three types of cells, right? The basal cell, that is the lowermost cell of the filament, the apical cell, the topmost cell of the filament, and the middle cells. One by one, if we take a look here at the basal cell, it is the lowermost cell of the filament, and as you can see here that the cell is long. It is long and it is gradually narrowed towards the basal end, and also it expands to form simple disc-like multi-lobe or finger-shaped structure. Alright girls, as you can see here, this portion here, the basal part in the basal cell, uh, it expands to form a disc-like or finger-shaped structure. And usually this basal cell here, it is colorless, and it as I had mentioned earlier that it performs the function of fixation to the substratum. Okay, it helps the plant body, it helps the algae to attach or to hold into the substratum, and the substratum can be anything, a stone, a wood, a leaf, or anything which is there inside the water. So the function of this basal cell is to fix to the substratum. Okay, and it is also referred to as the hold fast. Now the next cell here is the apical cell. Okay, this one. Now the apical cell, as you can see, it is the topmost cell of the filament, and the cell is usually rounded towards the apical side. You can see here it is round. Okay, so it is round towards the apical side and it is also green in color. So whereas all these middle cells, okay, these middle cells, that is in between this apical cell and the basal cell, lie these cells in the middle, right? So all these cells, they look alike. Okay, they are alike, and these cells, they, as you can see, they are longer than their breadth. That means they are not square in shape, they are rectangular in shape. The length is longer than the breadth, so they are rectangular in shape. And uh, as you can see here in this diagram, in this figure A, that towards the upper end of some cells here, as you can see, wait, I will show. Okay, as you can see here, and here as well, here as well. Okay, so towards the upper end of some cells, you can find these ring-like structures here. Okay, these ring-like structure is present, which is known as cap. Okay, is known as cap cell. Okay, so sorry, is known as cap now, or the apical cap. And the cells which contain these apical cap, they are referred to as cap cell. And what these cap cells, they actually indicate the number of cell divisions in that cell. Suppose, like for example here, as you can see, there are 3 caps. So this means that in this particular cell here, there are already 3 cell divisions occur. Okay, because just remember the number of caps on a single cell, it indicates the number of cell divisions that occur in this particular cell. So after cell division occur, you will study later how they reproduce, how the cell divide, okay, and give rise to new cells. uh, this now we have already studied the 3 different types of cells which are present in Oedogonium. So let us study in detail the types of cells, the structure of the cells which are present in the middle. Okay, what is inside the cell? What is actually inside the cell structure? So for that, you can see here this figure B. Okay, it is the enlarged figure of a single cell. Now we will study in detail the structure of a single cell here. Okay, this figure here is the enlarged picture of each single cell. Now what is there inside the cell? So these cells, all these cells in between, the intercalary cells, meaning the cells in between, they are longer than their breadth. Okay, as I said that they are longer than their breadth, meaning they have they are rectangular in shape, and also they are cylindrical in outline. Okay, they are rectangular in shape and cylindrical in outline. As you can see, the cells, they are surrounded by a very thick wall. Okay, they are surrounded by a thick and rigid cell wall. And also the cell wall is again differentiated into 3 layers. This cell wall here, okay, this cell wall, as you can see, the cell wall, it is differentiated into 3 layers. There are 3 layers which compose the cell wall. Now the outermost layer of the cell wall, it is made up of chitin. The middle layer is made up of pectin, and the innermost layer, it is made up of cellulose. So what are these chitin, pectin and cellulose? They are nothing but they are uh, fibrous substance. They are polysaccharides. Okay, polysaccharides meaning the carbohydrate molecule. So the cell wall, it is made up of carbohydrates, chitin, the outer chitin, the middle pectin, and the innermost cellulosic. Okay, so just interior to the wall, now after this outer wall here, just interior to the wall, what is there? Just interior to the wall, a membrane is present. Okay, a cell membrane is present, which encloses this protoplast here inside. Alright, so just remember there is a thick cell wall, and just beneath the cell wall, just interior to the cell wall, there is a cell membrane which encloses the protoplast. Now, so let us study about the protoplast. What is there inside the cell here? So the protoplast, it consists of a cytoplasm, okay, a cytoplasm, then chloroplast, you can see here the chloroplast, the nucleus, pyrenoid, okay, pyrenoid, nucleus, chloroplast, and cytoplasm. And the cells, they contain many small or single large vacuoles, okay, the single large vacuoles which are situated in the center, and these large vacuoles, they are actually filled with cell sap. Now, what is a cell sap? A cell sap, it is a fluid containing water and various other substances, okay. So just remember here in the in this cell, in this protoplast, okay, there are many vacuoles which are filled with the cell sap, and the cytoplasm, it lies between the cell membrane and the vacuole. Also, the chloroplast here, the chloroplast is single, large, and reticulate. The chloroplast is single, large, and reticulate. Now, what is the meaning of reticulate? It means they are divided in such a way, just girls, just see at these chloroplasts here, they are divided or they are marked in such a way so as to resemble a kind of network, okay. So they are arranged or divided in such a way just like a network. So that is the meaning of reticulate. And these chloroplasts, they remain embedded in the cytoplasm. And as you can see, the chloroplast, this in green color, it extends from here to here, right? So it extends from one end of the cell to the other end of the cell till here. You can see these many chloroplasts here, right? You can see this, how these chloroplasts, you can see they are arranged or they are divided in the form of a network. Now, okay, so these cells, they are uninucleate, and also what you can see here is a nucleus. You can see this nucleus here, and the nucleus is sometimes it is present in the center, but within the cytoplasm it is present in the center, but as you can see here in this case it is eccentric, okay. That means away from the center. It is not arranged in the center, but it is slightly towards the right side here, you can see, of the cell. So it is eccentric, okay, not in the middle. And so this is all about the structure of the cell. And also you can find here these pyrenoid. Okay, pyrenoid is, they are a kind of compartment, micro compartment, which are present in the chloroplast of algae. So since they are, this micro compartment is present in the chloroplast, you can see here these green in color, the chloroplast, and also in these chloroplasts you can find many pyrenoid molecules. These pyrenoids, they are nothing, sorry, not molecules, these pyrenoids, they are like micro compartments which are present in the chloroplast, and actually their function is to promote photosynthetic carbon fixation, okay. So they take part in photosynthesis. So Just remember that the cell structure, we have the cell wall, which consists of 3 layers. Okay, the chitin, pectin, and cellulosic. The outermost layer is made up of chitin, the middle layer of pectin, and the innermost layer of cellulose. And just interior to the cell wall, after the cell wall, here we can find the cell membrane, and last it is the chloroplast or the protoplast, right? So here in the middle, in the protoplast, you can find the cytoplasm, the chloroplast, and also along with the chloroplast you can find these pyrenoids and also the nucleus. And the nucleus is sometimes arranged in the middle, and in some cases it is eccentric. Okay, so this is the cell structure.